Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Get Secure. I'm Mike Blangiforti, your host, and I just want to wish everybody out there a very happy St. Patrick's Day today. And one of the reasons, and it's one of the reasons I'm wearing green today, but what I did want to talk about today is the fact that there are some secure issues, some secure tips I could give you. Today on St. Patrick's Day is a day that often people out there equate with drinking, and certainly drinking to excess. And it's not just St. Patrick's Day, but we also run into the same scenario on New Year's Eve into New Year's Day. We run into the scenario on Memorial Day weekend, 4th of July, and so forth and so on. People seem to pick certain days that they think it's okay to drink and also drink to excess. So I just want to talk a little bit about that today and the dangers of it. You know, I was just talking just a few minutes ago with our cameraman here, Keith, and you know, he was explaining to me already that up and down one of the local roads here in Suffolk County on 347, that the police were all over the place in preparation for St. Patrick's Day. So you just never know when the police are going to be, where the police are, and how quickly and how easy it is that you can get caught. And the mindset really shouldn't be like, well, the percentage of me getting caught, or will I get caught? The percentages are there, and in your head should be, I'm going to get caught if I drink and if I drive, and the dangers of it. And it's not just from a perspective of drinking and driving, but you know, also alcohol has many effects on the body, has many effects on different people. Certainly over my 20 years in the police department, I saw many things that were created as a result of alcohol and alcohol use, and certainly drug and drug abuse. One of the primary things was fighting, people that engaged in combative, nasty, arrogant, disobedient behavior. And people that may not be like that when they're completely sober. Now they wind up around the police, or they wind up in a domestic dispute, and they either wind up arrested or they wind up in a serious situation, perhaps a fight, involved in assault, things that ordinarily they may not be involved in if they had watched how much alcohol that they consumed. Now, if people aren't at home or they're not at a bar drinking, they also feel sometimes, especially a day like today, St. Patrick's Day, they're going to a parade, New Year's Eve, they might be in Times Square or celebrating outside. Maybe you're going someplace at some type of a venue. Check with that venue to see what's allowed and what's not allowed, because oftentimes what we're seeing today certainly is a limitation on what we could bring to certain events, certain venues, and certainly certain parades. One of those things are backpacks now. And in today's day and age, and with terrorism and terrorist threats out there, the concern with the backpack isn't so much alcohol being in the backpack, but that something worse could be in the backpack. But certainly police around events like today are looking for alcohol. Second, open containers. Use some common sense. Don't bring an open container anywhere. Unless you're in a bar, unless you're in your house or at a friend's house, don't have an open container anywhere out in public. You look foolish, first of all. Second of all, you could get into a lot of trouble. And certainly don't bring an open container to an event. You're going to get summoned, so you're going to get arrested. Solo cups. Okay. Solo cups, college kids, dormitories. I worked in campus safety for well over 4 years, and in residence halls across the country, many of our youth that are in colleges, that are in the residence halls, think it's okay to walk around with a solo cup filled with beer because the container doesn't say beer, or it doesn't say vodka, or it doesn't say mixed drink. Okay, well, guess what? Our campus safety officers, our police, they certainly know what's in the cup. Don't be foolish, use some common sense, and don't be drinking out of a solo cup, in front of a campus safety officer, and tell them it's apple juice. We all know that it's not. Don't try to get away with it. And have some respect for our police and for our campus safety officers out there. Drinking and driving. Very serious topic nowadays, and not just around a holiday, not just on St. Patrick's Day or New Year's Eve, but every day. Drinking and driving kills people. Drinking and driving is killing our young people at an alarming rate. And thank God for organizations like MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and some of our politicians and local law enforcement that are out there getting the word out about drinking and driving and the dangers of it. Many states right now have gone from lowering their threshold. It used to be 0.1%, and now many states have gone down to 0.08, 0.07. You're seeing that number drop. So what the police are telling you, what our legislators are telling us, is don't drink, because now you could only have maybe a couple of drinks before you're even reaching the threshold of driving while intoxicated. So we really have to be careful. We really have to drink in moderation when we're out, especially when we're with our friends, with our family, especially when we're with our children. Exercise some common sense and know that it takes less to become intoxicated. Know your body. Also, know your friends. Know how they react when and if they drink. Give them some alternatives. Be a good friend. There's this terminology used nowadays called driving while buzzed. And I don't really see what the difference. Well, driving while buzzed, driving while intoxicated. Maybe the buzz is bringing in some type of a drug. Maybe people are smoking marijuana. Maybe using some type of another illicit drug, and they're driving while buzzed. Again, it seems to be this new terminology nowadays. But don't do it. Exercise common sense. Watch your family, watch your friends. Be a good friend, be a good family member. Remember, it only takes one incident to create a tragedy that will alter the course of your life and hopefully nobody else's. And hopefully you don't kill somebody. But it only takes one instance for that to happen. One instance of poor judgment. One instance is, I think I'm okay and I think I can drive. One instance is, I'm okay. One instance is, I'm a macho person. I could handle my alcohol. I could handle it. I know what I'm doing. I've done this before. So many excuses, and those of you may be listening out there, you know what they are, so just don't do it. Arrest and imprisonment may be the least of your problems. God forbid if you make the wrong decision one day and it results in the death of somebody else, and how might you feel for the rest of your life? You're not thinking of that when you're in the bar drinking or you're with friends and you're drinking. You're not thinking that I might get behind the wheel and kill somebody tonight. Of course not. None of us are. But the fact of the matter is that can happen, and we really have to be careful. So what do I mean about being a good friend? We've all heard the expression, friends don't let friends drive drunk. So just don't do it. Don't let your friends drive drunk. You know your friends, you know your family. If you see that they're drinking, you see that they're going to get behind the wheel of a car, be a good friend. The best friend that you could be is maybe one that's going to make your friend angry at you for taking the keys out of their hand or finding another way for them to get home. Maybe those are the friends that will love you, like you even more for the fact that you did intercede, that you did step in. So I would suggest, be a good friend, be a good family member. Don't let your friends and family drive drunk. For example, recently I was at well, not so recently, it was a Christmas party back in December, and our boss, who ran the Christmas party, because he can't control what 100 of his employees are going to do over the course of an event, but what he did do is he advertised and he emailed, he made sure that his folks were safe. And how did he do that? He retained the services of a local taxi company, and that anybody who felt that maybe they did indulge too much, they had the services of that taxi company. No questions asked, no fees, no paying. What a smart thing to do when you think about it, that somebody who maybe wasn't able to control themselves on a particular evening had an anonymous way to just hop in a cab, go home, no questions asked, doesn't have to worry. We could all do common sense things. We could all do prudent things, but we all have to do it together, collectively, as a group of friends, as a group in a family, as a group in a society, and as a group through line organizations and organizations like Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Get the word out. So I remind you today, as I remind you always, don't drink and drive. Stay sober, stay safe, and be good friends. Thanks everybody for tuning in to this episode of Get Secure. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Have a great St. Patrick's Day and a safe week. Take care now.